So come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. It's a Saturday. We always know what that means. Probably going to be the challenge of a lifetime, right? And I got a new wine from the folks downstairs. So gracious and always giving their advice and counsel and never letting me down. But today we've got ourselves a Becksteiner Schwartz-Riesling, and this is a 2022. And I can tell you right now, on the nose, it is just a bowl of cassis and blueberries and maybe blackberries, I'm thinking, in there. Got some melon in there and some golden apple. And yeah, it's just a fresh bowl of lovely fruits. And on the palate, oh no, this is light. This is smooth, definitely dry, and it is definitely soft. Now, I can read the keys, the white keys, clearly beneath through the wine. It is not a problem at all. It is not a deep red, and therefore it is not a Bluetooth manufacturing device. But there are a number of charts if you're just kind of getting into tasting and you're trying to kind of figure out what all's going on out there and how best to keep notes and stuff. There's a couple of options for you. All you have to do is just Google maybe a wine tasting chart, and I pulled down a couple of these examples right here. One is overly simplistic, and one of them is extremely I don't know. Too much work, right? But I will offer you a third to look at here, and you may want to take a screenshot of this or take a picture of your screen, etc., right? Maybe if you're watching on the TV, or just jot it down. This is how I typically go about it. The first thing I do is I look and just see. I just look to see, do I see any gas? Do I see any sediment? What am I looking at visually? I mean, is it a deep ruby red, or is it kind of a pale red? Is it a rosé? Is it a white? If it's a white, is it like straw? Is it white like pale, very, very pale straw, or is it like a golden hay? So just use your own descriptives for that. But when it really gets right down to it, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the light versus the bold. I'm looking for the smooth versus tannic, dry versus sweet. I'm looking for soft versus acidic. And these are all things that are pretty easily determined, and so this may be one of the better charts for you to use as you're trying to gauge where it is that you stand with that particular wine, and especially if you're making notes. I usually just make little tick marks in my mind, but you may want to actually keep a record, which is great. It's always nice to have a little wine book somewhere in the house, but on the whole, I'd say that this Becksteiner is just a fantastic little wine. I also have a photograph that I keep in my photos on my iPhone. It's just a white image. It's just a white image that I can pull up on my phone, and then I can hold that there, and I can look, even when in a darker studio like this, I can look and see and tell. I can also read through the keys. Sometimes I'll see if I can tell what time it is on my watch. Just various techniques, up to you, right? But put your personality into it, because it's the love of wine and crosswords that brings us together anyway. But this Becksteiner Schwarz-Riesling, this is a go-to. In fact, I'm going to probably go ahead and pick up a couple of cases of it. This was about 12 euros for the bottle, and I can tell you right now that I can probably get it down around $8 a bottle if I buy a case at a time. So probably a smart thing to do. Just keep these in the fridge. I've got this right now. It's serving at It's serving right at 15 degrees centigrade, so right at about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Just a fabulous one. So enough of that, but I'll be going back to it, and often. Let's go ahead and hop into our grid and see what we got today. So it was Saturday, March 29th, and we have a Christina Iverson and Jacob McDermott. Two veteran troopers when it comes to construction and solving, and this should be an awful lot of fun for us. So let's just hop on in and see what we got today. Okay, so underground venues for some heavy metal bands. And that question mark there makes me think immediately we're talking about ores and loads, stuff like that. Like we're mining for heavy metals. So what that is, no idea just yet. But sorry about that. Phone call out of nowhere. It's just a spam call trying to see if anybody's on there. That's my American number, and no, I don't ever answer it. Head honcho. Okay. I could probably get top banana in here or big cheese, so we're probably going to need something else. Reason to scratch one's head. How about a itch? I can't fit dandruff in there, and Saturdays are not known for the Rebuses, so roost. Maybe a hen. That's clever. I like that. Strong indication. Okay, part of a film could be a role. So, underground venues for some heavy metal bands. Maybe we got IR. So how about iron mines? And let's go to checking. Where to get into the nitty gritty? Need a bit more. Primary language of Gambia, and that would be English. English. Like a mark. Maybe we're talking about like a scam target, so maybe you're naive. Let's check that V though, because I don't really care for it. Gun could be the rev though. That's working so far. Okay, something here. Maybe insert. Here. It might be flat but not sharp. Only beauty to go through history and retain her reputation per Will Rogers. It seems like I have all of the Will Rogers quotes memorized, and I think he's talking about Mona Lisa, but... Oh, so we're 3 longs. How about the Mona Lisa? My favorite quote from Will Rogers is that I don't belong to any organized political party. I'm a Democrat. And I don't care what side of the aisle you may rest your seat. But that's funny. To me, that's just funny. True. I think we got a tire. So, single alternative. How about married? I need to keep my elbows off the table because I just wind up invariably shaking the monitor, which has got the camera attached to it. I should probably attach it to the wall so I can just do whatever I want to on this table. But I have yet to do that because that would require engineering of sorts. The walls in Germany are concrete. Everything's hanging by a command strip. I mean, this is just how it's done, right? You know? The heavy stuff that has to go on a wall, and I have a friend named Christian Novak, and he will come over and he will fix you right up. And all my friends, he's a fantastic handyman. So what's got about an ounce of sense? And I guess with the spelling, I think we're talking about a sachet, something you would get your potpourri. So very nice. Neon sign word could be open. Clear indication, strong indication, obviously clear sign. And where to get into the nitty gritty, and I'm going to go with sandboxes. We got a top banana, magic org, got it, the NBA. All right, so we're doing okay there. Suffered in a way. Good Samaritan say, is this an I, part of an agenda, maybe an item? So I think we're going with a saint here for the Good Samaritan, and then maybe we ached, as in suffering. One in need of some direction. Well, maybe it's the actor that took the role in the film. Let's see. So, Wrigley Field. How about chewing gum? Cousin Annette, who's German, she always says chewy gummy. Chewy gummies. I love it. That's absolutely fine. No worries, mate. Aussie friend of mine. Oh, actually, he's a Kiwi, New Zealander. His name was Steven, and he always said, no worries, mate. And I'd never heard it before. It was back in the 90s, but it was a pretty cool thing to say, I guess. On the edge of one seat. Maybe riveted. Getting ahead of myself, but I have to be honest with you, I'm not feeling that great from those 2 vaccines yesterday. My arms don't move that great today. One's pneumonia, one was COVID. Birthplace of the writer V.S. Naipaul, and that's Trinidad, and that's Sir V.S. Naipaul. So, Trinidad. So, taxonomic classification, how we'll start with the order. And I do not recall what order he was knighted into. No idea. Lint, trap, navel, that's disgusting and funny at the same time. All right. Like mini free samples, how about trial size? Or what we all fly with and just hope that it's going to be okay. Casting experts could be anglers. For real could be legit. Jules Verne, visionary, none other than the Captain Nemo himself. Divert could be to amuse, and Alan Moore, V for Vendetta. We've got itinerant ones here and nomads, so cry from a cutthroat competitor. We don't even know where to start there. Label on one Coca-Cola offering, and that would be 0 sugar. In Germany, you might see Null Zucker or the Zero Zucker. Raiders org. Well, Raiders org. Oh, I don't know. Either way's fine with me. We could probably fit in here, I don't care. What do we got here? It's a mouthful. How about a cud? When's the last time you used the word cud, right? Either way's fine with me. Somebody, I don't care. So, frito-based sauce, and this would be a ragu. Lightly roast. How about to rib? You know, ribbing someone. Just kind of picking at them, but not really awful. Okay, so super password or win, lose, or draw. Is that Burt Convoy? I don't remember. Cry from a cutthroat competitor. Looks like all of a sudden now it's going to eat my dust. So part of money, portfolios, IRAs, and we've got Burt Convoy. So, okay, a few all right so far, unless I've fat-fingered something, which is altogether possible. Fashion portmanteau would be a skort. Perhaps. Character in a hit 2023 film who sings, "Is it my destiny to live and die a life of blonde fragility?" And that would be Ken. Oh, the WNBA's Caitlin Clark. I'm going to go with Phenom because, man, that girl can play. She's got away. Okay, very nice. Barreled out, maybe peeled. Very nice. Itsy bitsy could be teensy. I know I've said it, but I don't think I've ever seen it spelled that way. I've heard it and I've said it. Pageant prize. How about a diadem, or what they're looking for here is a tiara, but I want to see a crossword with a diadem in it. Something different. Yeah. Birdseed alternative at times. I guess we're looking for rice. Isn't that not good for them? I don't know. I don't know. I gotta look into that. Position could be stud. One always seen in a fancy fur coat. I'm afraid I don't know. Like some steak. Encircled could be orbed. So I guess we have cubed steak. The way everybody likes it. So we got a tuxedo something. I don't know. Blanc Coeur, historic church. It'll be Sacré-Cœur. Catholic Church in Paris. It requires a flipper. Don't believe me. I lied. Is this a tuxedo cat? That would explain the fur. So this might be a coin toss. Never really thought about that. A coin toss. man, I really could have absolutely, done something terrible. Like, I don't know. I mean, it seems like I could have fat fingered something already. Gives the okay. Or give the okay, maybe bless. Standoffish, say, maybe antisocial, but there are other things, not just antisocial. Some people really want to be social, but just have a hard time making themselves relevant to a conversation, Mortify. An interesting place to put an A. I guess I'll put a bash in. Brewers need. How about hops? Floor could be to stun. Short Japanese sword would be a tento. They help build characters. I'm assuming we're looking for backstories. David Blank, the first black mayor of New York City, was Dinkins. Over, maybe at an end. Political group for HIV positive people be ACT UP. And how did we do, Bob? Fantastic grid today. Let's open it up. Yeah, so a lot of this was just really cool. And I saw and said that we had a question mark at the end of this one, like, clearly it's going to be something to do with the load or with ore, etc. As soon as I had iron out, the first thing I was trying to do is figure out how to get maiden in there or cages in there or something, because it felt like, something that would run alongside a mosh pit, Love the top banana, but if you were like me, you also noticed that you could get the big cheese in there, and that would have been a bit of an odd sign. I don't know much about Tuxedo Cat. I guess I need to figure that out. I loved coin toss, but excuse me. Yeah, I'm not feeling well, and I apologize for that. I think those 2 vaccines really hemmed me up. But I love the anglers, and the navel was just hilarious, right? A lint trap. I mean, that's fabulous. So, fantastic grid all the way around. Well done, Christina Iverson and Jacob McDermott. And so, again, picked up some wonderful new community members. One from Canada. Fantastic hearing from him overnight. When I got up this morning, went for an espresso and was able to reply back to him from yesterday. Just honest conversation. It's good stuff. But I love hearing from everybody. And I think the geocultural diversity is one of the things that makes this group just amazing. And I just adore it. So with that said, until we see you tomorrow, be good to your friends and your neighbors, right? Be kind to the person behind you in the line. So auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin. Be well to yourselves and others. We'll see you on tomorrow for the Sunday ginormous grid. Be well.